You're thinking of moving to Portland, Oregon, but you're having trouble deciphering between fact and fiction about what it's really like to live here. Perhaps you've searched online and you've seen some horrible, horrible things, and you don't know what to believe, and now here you are on this video and you still don't know what to believe. Well, it's good that you're here, because in this video, I'm just gonna straight up call out the lies and all the bullshit I see people saying about this place so that you can know what's a lie and what's true. There's only about 2.5 million people that live in the Portland metro area, so it can't be that bad, right? Make sure you stick around till the end though, because I'm actually gonna share one thing that is bumming me out about the city lately. But before we get into that, if you've stumbled upon this video because you've been thinking about making a move to the Portland area, know that you are not alone, because it's really a wonderful place to live. And if you're aspiring to own a home here, I would absolutely love to help you make a move here to the Portland area and help you buy that perfect home. You're gonna find all my contact information right down below this video, so make sure you reach out via call, text, email, or ideally just book a video call with me and we'll have a conversation about your move to the Portland area. We're just gonna dive straight into the deep end here, folks, and address this rumor that Portland is this post-apocalyptic wasteland after the pandemic and the riots and all those protests that happen all at the same time. Like, what is it with this one? Seriously, there seems to be an excessive amount of hate towards Portland in general, that it's been taken over by urban militant groups, that the infrastructure has been destroyed and it is a garbage infested city that's dangerous to walk around in. How's this for a news flash? It's fine. Sure, the city has its issues, but being a post-apocalyptic wasteland ain't one of them. No, seriously, don't you guys remember that just about every major city in America was rioting and protesting in 2020? It wasn't just us, so why does Portland get all the flack? I don't know. That stuff was certainly occurring intensely in a specific part of town for a specific period of time, but if you weren't there exactly, you might not even know what was happening. In reality, there were definitely some long-lasting issues from it, but even through those dark times, Portland has remained a beautiful city that is absolutely livable in many different parts. And even more so, the surrounding suburbs of Portland, they weren't even touched by this stuff anyways. Comment down below your perspective of Portland post-riots. Talk about what it's been like to walk around places like the Mississippi District, or Alberta Street, or Southeast Portland, downtown, Woodstock, but would like to request that you keep it respectful and constructive, and only comment if you've actually been here recently. I'm looking at you, internet haters. Next is the fact that the city is overrun by homeless people. Oh, I really don't like talking about this, but yes, there is a homeless problem in Portland. There's no doubt about that, and arguably it might be one of the worst issues this city faces, but it may not be as bad as you think. I absolutely feel for anyone that is experiencing homelessness, and I would assume that the vast majority of people that are in that situation do not actually want to be in it. Are there homeless people on every street everywhere you look? Nope. Are there certain neighborhoods or streets or areas of town that more homeless people tend to end up? Yeah, that's pretty much the gist of the situation. It's a problem similar to the previous problem that is a big city problem that many big cities are facing right now. Is it unique to Portland? I don't think so. But if you come here and drive around, you'll see that there's certain areas that there tends to be more homeless people and certain areas that there tends to be less homeless people. I'm not going to go into details on where those areas are, but if you've been here and you know what I'm talking about, feel free to leave a comment down below. The city also has organizations that are constantly working to improve homelessness, like the Joint Offices of Homeless Services, which moved over 3,000 people off the streets into permanent housing in 2023. So Portland is in fact working towards a cleaner city and more people living under roofs and off the streets. I don't know all the inner workings of the politics around this issue within the city, but just sharing my thoughts with you on this great issue that we face as not just Portland, but as a society in general. As I've said in previous videos, I wish I could just wave a magic wand and have there be zero homeless people in the whole world, but it's a little bit more complex than that now, isn't it? All right, let's lighten the mood now, shall we? Raise your hand if you've seen the show Portlandia. Great show, by the way. And as a result of watching it, you may have some preconceived notions about Portland. Is this a hipster-dominant city? Well, that is a debatable topic. Sure, you may find a barefoot-only underground underground self-serve kombucha speakeasy, or a healing crystal store right next to a dive bar or a beard trimming barbershop. But come on, this city just has character. And what the show Portlandia does is recognize that uniqueness and completely blows it out of proportion to comedic levels. Of course people care about eating fresh organic foods and good coffee and great beer, but I mean, come on. Don't you? I think hipster basically just means standing out as unique in society and being your own character. So I'm not gonna say that this is a lie about Portland, but it's sort of a misconstrued truth that gives Portland a bad rap a little bit. The fact of the matter is that you are not going to get looked at funny if you don't have a 12-inch beard or wear plaid dresses all the time. This is a great place for people of all types of interests, backgrounds, and dress codes to call home. The weather being bad and rainy all the time is also a pretty commonly told lie. I've even gotten comments on this channel from people that say it is 9 months of misery. But come on, is that true? Well, I think it's all relative. If you're coming from a climate that is year-round paradise, it might seem like a good chunk of the year is garbage. But if you're coming from a place with brutal winters and ice like, I don't know, the North Pole, or someplace like that, you might be pretty stoked on the weather here. It is a gradual cycle of changing weather throughout the year. Winter certainly gets the most rainy days, but there are many cities that get far more rain in this. Just Google it. All right, I'll put something on the screen for you. Winter can also have the occasional extreme weather events with snow and ice. But as we ease our way out of winter, the springtime becomes one of the most beautiful times of the year with blossoming leaves and warmer and drier days. It is the best time of the year to go outside, go for a hike, go look at some waterfalls that have been getting bigger and bigger throughout the course of the winter, or just enjoy some outdoor eats somewhere in the middle of the city. And then summertime is like absolute paradise the whole season long. It rarely rains, shorts and t-shirts every day, kids playing on the splash pads at parks across the city, and camping trips into the wilderness. It can get extremely hot, so definitely be prepared for the occasional heat waves. Then fall is like a much welcoming cooling down with a mix of beautiful days as well as gentle rains coming here and there. You'll see beautiful changing color leaves and easing back into the rainy season, and then you're back into the winter and we do it all again. So like I said, it's a cycle. You gotta plow through certain times of the year, but it's all worth it when the weather gets nice again and all the nature that has been watered for the last 3 or 4 months wakes up for us to enjoy. And that's why it's such a special place to live here. People also seem to think that traffic is horrible here, like actually comparable to other places like LA or San Francisco or other metropolitan cities in America, but it is no comparison. Don't get me wrong, traffic can definitely get bad at times, but because the city is much smaller than all those sprawling cities I just mentioned, Portland can't even be put in the same league. For the most part, if you're trying to get towards the center of the city in the morning, you're gonna deal with some traffic. Or on the flip side, if you're heading away from the city in the evening, you're also gonna deal with some traffic. So knowing that, you can plan where you live accordingly. But if sitting in SF Bay Area traffic or on the 405 North in LA is a 10 out of 10 worst traffic, I would give Portland like, I don't know, a 5 or a 6 by comparison. There's just not nearly as much ground to cover, and that plays a big role on the severity of the traffic here. I will say though that the one thing that's been bumming me out about the city lately is all the retail and commercial vacancies that I see around town. This is a bit anecdotal, but in my neighborhood when I first moved in, there was a grocery store on the corner and a bar and a barber shop, but all 3 of those places have since closed. I think a lot of places are still struggling in the wake of the pandemic. Some places just couldn't recover. If you go to downtown or South Waterfront, you'll definitely also see a lot of vacancies over there. I also suspect that this is an issue that is occurring in other cities in America, so let me know if it's happening in your town. Leave a comment down below. Anyways, if you're still here, that probably means you're serious about making a move to Portland and could use some pro tips from a local about living here, in which case I would recommend checking out this video right here. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you over there.